Hello, this is Greg Bell. I'm your league manager here at Dynasty NFL, and this is Dynasty NFL Live. This is going to be a first of some regular podcasts. For those of you who are in the Legacy League, you know Frank's been doing this for years, but I'm going to try to do this and give you a little bit of an update of just what's going on at Dynasty NFL. So let's get started this morning with a little bit of a rundown of where we are on the preseason schedule. You know, we're well into the preseason now. Trading has been opened up. We've had a number of trades down already. We'll get a little bit more to that and the activity level in the near future. But in addition to that, we're starting the owners' meetings with some of the rule changes that need to be done. We're also looking at posting your franchise tags. You should be posting your franchise tags, your transition tags, and your RFA. Your RFAs should also be posted. That goes on through the 15th of March. And then we're going to begin the RFA restricted free agent bidding period starting on March 16th through March 31st. And then move on to unrestricted free agency, the rookie draft on May 15th, and finally the kickoff in early September. So the entire preseason schedule is posted on the Pro Board site for you all to take a look at. And as we go forward on this, you can refer to that preseason schedule and do that. We do have two open teams in Dynasty NFL. The Dolphins are still open. We're looking for a GM to replace David there. He decided not to continue. That's a great team, and somebody's going to have a really good head start there as a young new GM in Dynasty NFL. The Bears are also open. LJ, because of family and work situations, has decided to step back. So the Chicago Bears are open. So if you know of people looking for another team, or you have friends that want to get into 32-team fantasy football, have them get a hold of me or post their information on the Pro Board site, and we'll get right back to them. Couple of things that we want to do today that I wanted to cover with you today. First is some of the suggestions that have been made in terms of pending rule changes, and I'm going to be posting those threads for each one of them on the website so that we can get your comments prior to voting on some of these things. Some of the things that have been brought up so far are a salary cap increase. There's one proposal that says we should move from 100 million to 125 million overnight. That's one way to do it. There's also been some discussion of continuing what we've done for the last 4 years, and that is to increase the salary cap by by $5 million each year. I think we'll have to get some more comments on that. There's others that are in favor of leaving it where it is. So log on and to the rule changes area, the Pro Board site, put your opinion in there. And then once we sort a few things out in terms of the leading proposals, we'll put it to a vote of all the GMs. Another thing, and Frank and I did a joint podcast yesterday that has to do with IR changes. As most of you know, Dynasty NFL has a pretty hard, fast rule, and that is if you put somebody on IR, they remain on IR for the remainder of the season. The NFL changed things dramatically last year and allowed people to go on to the IR and then come back in as little as 3 weeks. And we're watching what's happening with the NFL on this. But once we see what the NFL is going to do, we may want to change our IR rules to allow more flexibility. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the NFL and and the players union in terms of, does this transfer back and forth between an active roster and the IR? Is that going to be allowed on an ongoing basis? Another thing that we've got going is the practice squad. Our practice squad allows people to be put on a 5-man group of younger players to be put on the practice squad as long as they have less than 16 games experience. There's been some discussion among some of the GMs about using the practice squad as much more as it is used in the NFL as a developmental squad, and allowing players still on their rookie contract, regardless of the number of games played, to be held on the practice squad. That would mean that anybody with less than 4 years of experience would be allowed to be left on the practice squad. The practice squad does count against your salary cap, but it does not count against your total roster. So that's one way to take a look at it. Another thing is that's been brought up is to prohibit trading on the part of new owners for a period of time. This rule has been brought up in the past and has not passed, but it's been brought up again this year. So probably something that needs to be discussed. Also, in the same area, we've got a new rule, or we've got a suggestion by one of our newer owners that in addition to a free drop, that we also allow the forgiveness of the previous owner's cap hits for players that have been dropped. It's an interesting idea. It's something that I guess after I've considered it, I support. I hate to see a new owner be stuck with a lot of very bad decisions made by a previous owner. And I think by removing the cap hits, it doesn't really cause any of the other GMs a difficulty. And it does kind of give the new GM a clean slate to move forward on that. So that's one of the other things we'll consider. Again, like I said, I'm going to create threads for each one of these discussion subjects so that we can get more people weighing in. So come onto the Pro Boards website, throw your opinion out there. Let's see if we can get some discussions going, and then we'll put some of these rule changes to the vote of the GMs. Again, if you've got any other rules, feel free to post them out there. Just start a new thread with any other rule changes that you want that think need to be made, and we'll move forward from there. One of the things I think we ought to do, or that we need to do, is to increase the activity level in Dynasty NFL. That's going to take all of us to come on and start chatting on GroupMe more with fellow GMs. We've had 7 trades so far this year in the new season, which I think is good. We have just a few postings in terms of either tags, extensions, or RFAs. So I think we all got to get back on and get those things posted so that we know which people are going to be getting the franchise tags. All the franchise tag values have been posted. All of your free agents for the year and major contract changes are listed in a single thread on there, so you can go through and see which free agents you're going to have, which RFAs you're going to have, and get that filing done. We need to just up the level of activity, and then we need to find 2 new GMs to handle the Dolphins and the Bears. So that's kind of where we are at this point. That's kind of an update in terms of that. Like I said, I'm going to be doing these podcasts much more often. We'll have a number of different subjects that are there that need to be addressed, and then we'll use these as opportunities to have further communications, further discussion on some of those subjects. Again, that's kind of the beginning update. This is Greg signing off for Dynasty NFL Live, and hopefully you're going to be, we can see you all online here shortly. So with that, we'll see you in the near future. Again, Greg signing off for Dynasty NFL Live.